There was this old woman who heard a song called 2 Lips and 7 Kisses. She called up information after hearing the song on the radio to get the name of the record company. In dialing, she erroneously called up a gas station, and she asked, "Do you have 2 lips and 7 kisses?" The gas station attendant who answered the phone said, "No, but I have 2 nuts and 7 inches." So the woman asked, "Is this a record?" To which the man replied, "No, it's average." The man approached the very beautiful woman in the large supermarket and asked, "You know, I've lost my wife here in the supermarket. Can you talk to me for a couple of minutes?" "Why?" "Because every time I talk to a beautiful woman, my wife appears out of nowhere." A man in Scotland calls his son in London the day before Christmas Eve and says, "I hate to ruin your day, but I have to tell you that your mother and I are divorcing. 45 years of misery is enough." "Dad, what are you talking about?" The son screams. "We can't stand the sight of each other any longer," the father says. "We're sick of each other, and I'm sick of talking about this, so you call your sister in Leeds and tell her." Frantically, the son calls his sister, who explodes on the phone. "Like hell, they're getting divorced," she shouts. "I'll take care of this." She calls Scotland immediately and screams at her father, "You are not getting divorced. Don't do a single thing until I get there. I'm calling my brother back, and we'll both be there tomorrow. Until then, don't do a thing. Do you hear me?" and hangs up. The old man hangs up his phone and turns to his wife. "Sorted. They're coming for Christmas, and they're paying their own way." A nun gets into a cab and notices that the driver can't stop staring at her. So she asks him why he is staring, and he answers, "I have a question I need to ask you, but I don't want to offend you." The nun replies, "My dear son, you cannot offend me. When you're as old as I am and have been a nun as long as I have, you've had a chance to see and hear just about everything. I'm sure that there's nothing you could say or ask that I would find offensive." The cab driver hesitates for a moment and then says, "Well, it's like this. I've always had a fantasy to have a nun perform oral sex on me." The nun replies, "Okay, well, let's see what we can do about that, shall we? There are 2 conditions, though. Firstly, you have to be single, and secondly, you must be Catholic." The cab driver is very excited and says, "Yes, yes. I am single, and I'm Catholic too." The nun then says, "Okay, then, pull into the next alley." The cab driver does so, and the nun duly goes ahead and fulfills his fantasy. They get back on the road and start driving again, but the cab driver soon starts to cry. The nun sees this and asks him, "My dear child, pray tell, why are you crying?" The cab driver says, "You must forgive me, sister, but I have sinned. I lied to you. I must confess that I'm married and I'm also Jewish." The nun laughs and says, "That's okay, my name is Kevin, and I'm on my way to a Halloween party."